I know one of the biggest reactions from my theater when I watched it was the Hobbs and Shaw joke. People
Yeah,
just found that hilarious, especially the meta
yeah.
element to it.
It's funny because I think personally myself, I didn't know when I read it on paper. I was like, "Really? Are we really going to do this? Is this a film?" And we had to absolutely commit to it.
My name is Russ Milheim. I'm from the Direct. Thank you for talking to me
Hey,
today about
Russ,
Hard Eyes.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, man.
Dude, I absolutely loved the movie.
Thank you. Thank
So,
you.
fantastic work. Like I'm a huge horror fan, but also a huge slasher fan.
Awesome.
And this one really hit the mark. So,
Good.
first topic I wanted to talk about is just like some of the kills are really brutal.
Yeah,
And you just as your character gets to go through some of these crime scenes, and that first crime scene is just all over the place, and just watching you like pick through all the guts, like how
yeah.
gross and also fun was that just to be able to play around and just pick through the crime scene.
That was day one, and that kind of set the tone for me and Jordan as characters. I remember being there and having this crime scene and thinking to myself that we were walking all over it. We were touching everything. The blood was getting all over our wardrobes, but no one seemed to care. And that was funny in itself. It's like we were completely, ruining this crime scene. The two head detectives just ruining it. And it was just kind of an afterthought. We were just doing the scene, and at the end of the day, my white shirt was just drenched in blood.
Well, that's how you know you had a good day at work. So
Absolutely,
yeah,
and that's when you know you're in a good comedy
yeah.
too. You don't make a meal that it just kind of happens, and it was subtle, and it was so much fun that first day.
It's a good transition there, and just that this is a hilarious movie.
Yeah.
Even just like simple scenes, like the interrogation. Every now and then, I felt like maybe you guys could have easily cracked up while filming it. Were there any laughing fits between you guys in some of these scenes?
No, because we shot so many versions of so many scenes. We shot versions. Josh comes from the world of comedy, and he let us go really big at times and really grounded at times. And so those big, I guess losing it probably would have came after those big scenes, but we always stayed in it. But what is on screen is kind of Josh's like end product of what he thought what was the tone. But we were all over the place, but we stayed pretty in it, you know.
I know one of the biggest reactions from my theater when I watched it was the Hobbs and Shaw joke. People
Yeah,
just found that hilarious, especially the meta
yeah.
element to it.
It's funny because I think personally myself, I didn't know when I read it on paper. I was like, "Really? Are we really going to do this? Is this a film?" And we had to absolutely commit to it. Um, and play it just as grounded as possible. And I'm glad they kept it in. I'm glad we didn't lose that line because I've seen it like 4 or 5 times now, and that is one of the lines that everybody kind of just loses their shit over. So I'm happy about that.
What would you say? What's your favorite line in the film in terms of like humor? What one really got to you? You were like, damn, that's good.
That was that one, and the is that sarcasm line with Mason.
No, yeah, both of those great.
Yeah,
Um, Sadly, you don't make it too long in the movie. I was rooting for you,
yeah.
but you're picked off pretty early. What was it like filming that death scene?
It was a lot of fun. It was without giving it away, it was a brutal death. I've had my share of death on camera scenes and in other shows, and this one was one of the good ones for sure.
Well,
If
and
you're gonna
as
die, if you're gonna die, go out
yeah,
go out as crazy and wacky as possible.
as further clarification, you can feel free to speak freely about all the details. We'll make sure we hold it so people have time to watch the film.
Yeah, absolutely,
Um,
absolutely.
but then when you're working with that killer, did he
So I
look?
guess I could say like that death was nuts.
Yeah, yes, you can. Yes. Did that killer look as good in person as he did on screen? Because I really love the design that they went with.
Yeah, Tony Gardner came up with that design. Who I worked with on Chucky. I had no idea when I read the script, and even as I was flying there to New Zealand, I had imagined like a heart eyes emoji, and there was going to be some version of this heart eyes emoji. And the first thing I did when I landed is they wanted me to come to set because they wanted me to go through a wardrobe fitting right from the airport. And I walked on. They asked me to go to set to meet Josh and the cast, and they were shooting a scene, and I saw the heart eyes villain for the first time, and it blew my mind. It was done in a way that was perfect for Josh's tone. It was the mask is detailed and simple and scary, but yet romantic, and I don't know. It just they nailed it. Tony Gardner's team absolutely killed it.
Yeah, you think you spent a lot of time with this killer? Is Chucky gonna get jealous?
Yeah, he's always jealous. Yeah. We'll see.
I want to throw in one unrelated question for you about Chucky. Yeah. And obviously, so it was sadly canceled. Yeah. But I just wanted to ask you, any chance you could shed some light on what season 4 might have looked like? I
know exactly what it looked like. I heard the pitch and I heard a detailed pitch of what it was, but I can't say anything because I don't know if Don's going to. Here's the thing with Chucky. Chucky's going to live on. Obviously, yeah. Been around since '89. So, will I go back to do Chucky? I don't know. Maybe not. But that could be. Don could turn that idea into a movie in 10 years, 5 years, 2 years, 1 year. I don't know. But I can't give. It's an amazing idea. I remember he had one idea of doing Chucky on a cruise ship that didn't go, and I was supposed to play the captain and die by sharks, and like it was
this whole. Would have been awesome.
Oh, it would have been great. It would have been amazing. But Don's got a twisted mind, and you'll see Chucky again, and I hope that he kind of figures a way to get his particular story that I heard up and going.
I pushed my luck a little tiny bit. Vaguely, no details. If season 4 were to happen, would you have had a different character for sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I knew the character, and I loved the character, and he was so different than the twins and the president and the priest, and so yeah, no, I was we were all pumped, and sadly, it's either who knows what's gonna happen.
I'm crossing my fingers. I love Chucky, so hopefully.
I love it too.
Now,
one of the best things I've ever done.
Back to Hard Eyes. I was hoping that you would be the secret killer, but you died. But ironically, while you weren't the secret killer, your partner was. How did Hobbs not pick up on anything?
I don't know. I don't. She is a slick. She had that other personality going before we reveal she's the menacing killer at the end. And I think Hobbs is just so in love with her. He's so goo goo gaga over her. But yeah, I think that everybody thought that I was the killer. I think the internet was like, "Oh God, it's so obvious. It's going to be Devon. Oh God, it's like you know what I mean." It was just that douchey kind of cop guy. That's who you would expect. So
yeah, why don't you get to play the killer more often?
I don't know. I got to get there.
If Hobbs were to have found out, do you think he would have been like truly shocked, or would he try to play it off and be like, I knew that, I was just waiting?
I totally think Hobbs would have tried to join the team. I don't know, like
oh wow, okay.
Or he would have been super jealous of the boyfriend, the IT guy. Yeah, he would have been super. I think he would have taken out the IT guy in a fit of jealousy.
Be like, that's my spot now. Thanks.
That's right. Who knows?
Now, you are very well known for your work in the horror genre, obviously. What's something that you feel like this movie did that none of your other projects in that sphere, have done before?
This is my first slasher film. I don't know if you call Chucky a slasher.
I think technically, but like...
Is he technically a slasher?
Yeah, I think technically, but I definitely see the difference in just how they're structured. So.
Yeah. This is, other than, I guess not really, Idle Hands had a lot of comedy in it, but this is, it's probably that it's a slasher film. It's a slasher. First of all, this is an original film. I mean, I don't think anybody's ever done a rom-com and inserted a slasher villain into it. I think, so it's obviously just different than everything I've done because it's different than anything anybody's done, really. But yeah.
Now, this is a great Valentine's Day film. I mean, it's a great film in general, but it's also just a great Valentine's Day film. And so I wanted to ask you, hypothetically, kind of what is your dream holiday-themed horror movie?
I want to do it. I always thought like a Hallmarky type Christmas movie with some, where someone goes insane and starts hacking people up in a holiday environment where everybody's wearing crappy sweaters and eating, just some sort of holiday, film, like a Christmas film or a holiday film where things just get nuts and bloody and that's what I always wanted to do, something like that.
Did you see Terrifier 3?
I didn't. Has it been done? Am I
well,
saying?
I mean, there are Christmas.
But, already been done.
That was a big Christmas film that it's very much known for its gore. So they went all out for that one.
What's it called?
Terrifier. Terrifier.
Oh,
3.
Terrifier. Oh, of course, Terrifier.
Okay.
Yes. No, I know. Terrifier 3 Terrifier 3 that visits Christmas.
Yes, that's the one. That's the Christmas one.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I maybe not like that because I get that was one. I think more of a.
More themed and more leaning into that theme, you mean?
I think more grounded as far as like maybe it's just a family and maybe one of the family members kind of just loses their shit and like almost like The Shining or something like that where now it becomes, Terrifier's great. Of course I know Terrifier. I'm yes, you're right. There is a holiday Terrifier film.
Now, my last question for you, given the fact that you do have so much experience in this genre, did the other actors in like Hard Eyes or even just other horror movies that you've done, how often do they come up to you and kind of ask for some advice when navigating these kind of films?
I don't think anybody ever has.
How dare they?
Well, I think that everybody has a little bit of. I think everybody I've worked with has just a little bit of horror, experience. I remember watching Jennifer Tilly like I was a sponge around her. I wanted to learn, get something from her, and I got a lot from her. But as far as me, I don't think anybody's ever asked me anything particularly about the horror genre.
Well, now I'm disappointed in every cast member you've ever worked with. I'm just kidding.
Not even the young kids on Chucky. They didn't care. They're like they're on their own.
I'll squeeze in one more, just really really fun one that came to mind. If there were ever a Hard Eyes 2, what is your pitch? What would you want to see? How would they evolve that story? Obviously you're dead, or maybe you aren't. I don't know.
I come back as a ghost, or I come back as like a ghost holding Jordana's head. Speaking.
You thought it was over.
What would the Hard Eyes pitch be? I don't know. The door is open for something. I mean, somebody could get the mask. Somebody could, obviously Mason and Olivia and Gigi are still alive and kicking and they're going to get married. And so who knows, maybe we fast forward 5 years and they have kids and they're living in a trailer park or wherever. I don't know. And
watch the killer.
Maybe they move that to Christmas. Maybe they just keep bumping holidays.
I was about to make a similar comment. And next time he's going to have like the 4-leaf clover eyes. Yeah. For like St. Patty's Day, and then we'll just keep going.
Yeah. I'm in it. I'm down.
Well, thank you again.
As long as Jordan and I get to be ghosts.
Okay, all right. I'll make sure that's in the pitch. But thank you again for talking to me about the movie. I really, really enjoyed it, and I look forward to being able to see it again.
Thank you for seeing it, and thank you for going to see it again.